Interviewing today, renowned and probably licensed medical scientist Boris Petrovich from Moscow University of Medical Science and Chemical Engineering. How are you today? Okay, so as a scientist, what is your perception of altruism?
Well, I believe that it does have to exist because there are bees who have to sting other predators in order for the colony or the beehive to actually survive. So they are actually sacrificing their own lives so that the colony can survive.
Okay, that is very fascinating. But how about as a scientist, do you think you're biased towards something? Could you ever see yourself accepting that altruism might not exist?
Well, as a biologist, I am inclined to think that they're sacrificing their own lives, they're altruistic. But there's also the fact that it's in their genetic code to sacrifice themselves for the colony. And therefore, it is for the greater good, but it's not actually themselves. So therefore, I also don't necessarily believe that altruism exists.
Okay, that is very interesting. That is good scientist perspective. Have a good day. Here today, interviewing renowned PhD historian Rashid Mohammed Nasser Al Khalifa. So, Mr. Al Khalifa, what are your opinions on altruism?
Well, from a historical perspective, I believe that altruism exists. For example, in Finland's Winter War, even though the Swedish government decided not to send troops to aid the Finns, the Swedish citizens decided to create a sign-up sheet and help their friends in need voluntarily.
Interesting. However, as a historian, do you believe you have a bias in this matter?
Yes, I do believe I have a bias because even though there is no documented proof as to what the Swedish people expected in return, or if they indeed expected something in return, I think it's reasonable to presume that they helped the Finns for future help.
Interesting. Thank you for this interview.
You're welcome.
Hello, we have managed to get an interview with an anonymous priest who has a PhD in Bible. Hello, what is your perspective of altruism from a religious point of view?
Well, talking from a biblical perspective, we can, for example, take the instance of Jesus who died upon the cross, and it was purely for altruistic reasons. He seeked no personal gain. He just wished to deliver all nations from sin, and due to his death, he wished that all other people on the earth would make their way to heaven. So I do believe that that's very altruistic.
Do you have a bias in the point of matter?
I do have a bias because as a priest I take religious Christian beliefs as I worship with historical perspective. So I truly believe that they've happened. However, many people who aren't as religious as me may purely see them as hocus pocus. So I do have a bias in this.
Okay, thank you very much.